Welcome back, everyone, to the Unaware Podcast.
What's up?
With your hosts, Andrew Ludi.
It's me, Paulio.
Today we got some cool things on the agenda. This is episode 2, so still trying to figure some things out, trying to get it all...
Working out the kinks.
Yeah, working out the kinks. But on the agenda today, really the big thing we want to discuss is, the problem of over-awareness. I guess you could say the core behind this entire thing, what started it all. Really going to kind of dive deep into it, dive into why I think it's a problem, because maybe it's a hot take.
The main course, not the side dish.
Honestly, it's a main dish type of problem.
It's the main course.
Yeah. And the cool thing is this topic, there's just so much to talk about. Like, at least from my perspective and the way I view it, that we're not going to get to all of it today.
No.
We
got plenty of podcast room.
Yeah, and it's going to this is what we're going to touch on and keep referencing and kind of build material off of. So this in itself is also going to be a weird podcast because other things are going to come back towards this topic where we're kind of just talking
like the
about
foundation.
This. Yeah, to kind of give it people, I guess... It's our thesis statement, if you would. Our
thesis.
Our hypothesis about...
I like thesis better.
Yeah, our thesis statement.
Hypothesis
I'll put that on the
is an
website.
educated guess.
We know this for a fact. It's a scientific
We graduated.
law. Oh, yeah. We did graduate.
We graduated college.
College is only
We know what a hypothesis
farther
is.
and farther away. So this is completely off topic. But the other day, I was at my friend's house, right? And... he put this video on YouTube, and actually this will make sense because I texted you about this. He had his entire 4 years of college of just random Snapchat videos, random things, just in this one big video. And he went to a completely different school than me, Drew Harbor. He went to Wilmington.
Yeah.
And it made me feel so nostalgic, even though I was in 3 video clips. And I was like, dude, if I do this... It's gonna be so emotional.
I bet the music was nostalgic too. You're just
and so about 2 hours later, because I've wanted to somehow get my college experience out, and just there for me to watch if I ever want to, and that was I gotta do this. So 2 hours later, I texted you and a bunch of other people hey,
dude, that's a great idea.
You have any random?
I'm gonna steal that.
Do it, because think about it. You're only gonna get farther and farther away from college. Every day goes by, and time is moving fast. We're only gonna get older, and as we get older, it's gonna be harder to go back and build that story. But if I build it now and have that video, all right, here's my college experience. There's also a lot of education that you don't see because I never videotaped that. But all the random, funny, weird stuff from freshman year to senior year.
Dude, it's like you're driving down the road and you pass some landmark and you don't actually stop to see it, but you see it in the rear view and it's getting farther and farther away. So, oof. I totally get it, dude.
Oh, I never.
You're like, I should have just checked it out a little bit more, but no, it's gone, dude. It's in the rear view.
You can come back to a landmark.
Yeah.
I guess you could go back to college.
But you don't experience it the same way.
No.
When you first see, I don't know.
The Grand Canyon.
The Grand Canyon, yeah. You just casually drive past the Grand Canyon without stopping. Or you stop for a little bit, just kind of look at it, and then get back on the road.
That is a good, if you were driving and let's say you were 2 hours away from the Grand Canyon, you've never been.
Yeah.
You would go, right?
Yeah, you would go.
If you've been a few times, probably not.
It doesn't hit
different.
the same.
Yeah.
You're just I've seen this before. It's like when we went to Garden of the Gods in Colorado last year.
Oh, yeah.
I'd been there before. I've experienced everything that we experienced. I'm like, this just doesn't hit.
Nothing. It
just doesn't
to
hit
be
the
honest,
same.
Nothing against Garden of the Gods. If you've never been, very, very cool
place. Yeah, it was really cool
You gotta go. For me, it was also kind of underwhelming because we were just in the Rockies. We were at Dream Lake. We, had done all those things, and then we went to Garden of the Gods, and it's basically just a lot of
It's a garden
boulders.
of rocks.
outside the mountain range.
Yeah.
And you get to walk through it. It's pretty cool. It's pretty popular.
You can
so maybe that's
climb
why
it,
it
too.
was. Oh yeah, if I did that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That would change the experience.
Well, we were just walking around looking at giant rocks, and it was cool, but it just wasn't the same as like the Flatirons, where like
oh, dude, in Boulder,
I've never experienced that
Yeah.
before, and it was
Yeah.
breathtaking.
Especially when we got to the dog at the top with the Russian guy.
Yes, that
Yeah.
was so cool.
Yeah. Sorry for that weird digression, but
No,
I
no.
don't even know how I got on that.
We were talking about the
College
rear view,
something.
dude. We
Rear
were talking about the rear
mirrors,
view.
you know. But yeah, guys. Anyway, today, we'll be talking about the problem of awareness and kind of just dig into that. So,
Absolutely.
but first, a message from our sponsors. This is for all you guys out there. We will have segments for this, but for now, the only sponsor is my bank account. So, guys, go visit projectunaware.com and make sure you subscribe. That is www.projectunaware.com. Thank you. That was the message from our sponsors.
Dude, we got a great sponsor.
We do. It's going to continue being the sponsor for a bit. Guys, if you ever want to be sponsored on this podcast, hit me up.
Yeah, we are more than happy to check out some products and test them out.
I definitely won't lie about anything. So if you send me a crap product,
we've talked about that before.
Yeah, I do wanted a guy I follow for podcasting tips has like an ethics statement out, and he talks about like how he does sponsorships, why he reviews products, stuff like that. And I'm like, that's awesome. That way I know if he actually talks about it, he actually like enjoys the product, if that makes sense.
So if your dad or mom is like the CEO of some company that we don't know about,
Well, they're not,
then
but
not you.
it's like
I'm talking to the listeners.
okay, yeah, that's true.
All listeners out there, if you know someone that would sponsor us, we would love
send some your way.
We'd love some products.
Give us a few months, and we'll definitely have some average listener statistics and all that good stuff to be like, this is our audience. But that's in the future.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into kind of the main segment, what I really want to talk about, there is something I wanted to bring up before that.
Yeah.
So, Paul.
Yeah.
For all those people out there who don't know, he was, we like to say park ranger.
I was not a park ranger.
He will lie
was
and say it wasn't his job.
Public safety assistant.
He was a park ranger. I'll let you.
Yeah,
tell
so
people.
I was a park ranger for the Butler County Metro Parks, and basically all I did was drive around at night, close the gates of the parks. It was like 15 or so, and then I would kick people out and lock them in, which locking people in was so fun.
I think you said that on the last episode.
Dang it,
That was
I
your favorite-
did.
that
I
was your favorite
definitely
part.
did.
I mean, it's all right. That just
Yeah,
goes
anyway,
to show that's your
so
favorite
yeah.
part.
It was so fun.
Locking people in.
I wish I would have seen their faces.
Yeah.
When they got back to their car. But I recently just got a job at a place called Acuren,
Yeah.
and they do what's called non-destructive testing, which is so what I'll be doing. Really, you don't need to know the rest of it. It's just
I mean, I would listen to it.
it's called radiographic testing.
That's a big word.
Yeah, it is. So basically, it's just large scale film photography in a way.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
John would be proud.
John would be proud.
John's our old photo professor.
Yeah,
we love him.
Yeah, we used to take photography in college together.
Yeah.
No, but it's basically that, and we shoot stuff like pipelines and other things. I don't really know yet because I haven't officially, I've started, but all I've been doing recently is safety trainings.
So your third day?
Third day. Yep.
Yeah,
I started on Monday.
I feel like every job
It's
you're gonna
just
have
training.
training for
I've
the
just
first
been
week or two.
sitting in front of a screen for 30 hours, give or take.
40. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
You're getting paid for 40 hours.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been a good time so far.
How did you find it?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That my brother, Tim, my older brother, he's 26, just turned 26. Crazy.
You sound unsure.
Yeah, he just turned 26. Like
happy birthday
last Thursday, I think.
Happy late birthday, Tim.
Yeah, happy late birthday, Tim. I'm sure you will never hear this, but you know.
Nope. There it is. Happy birthday, Tim.
Oh no. Yeah, we still need to figure out the.
Yeah,
we should label them.
That's a good idea.
We should label them.
We'll get there. Well, also I'll get custom effects. So
anyway,
those are still just the presets.
My older brother Tim is like
Tim. Yeah, great guy.
Tim, great guy. He's like their go-to guy there. He's a radiographer, so he's like the guy in charge of basically what I'm just an assistant right now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, hopefully he's not like my boss or supervisor because
the fam. The big brothers. We
butted heads our whole life.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of happens. When
that's
you
just
grow
brothers.
People.
That's just brothers, though. So he told me that they're probably hiring, and I applied on like 2 weeks ago, I guess 3.
Well, you were checking the webpage for a while.
I was checking their webpage, looking for the posting, and never posted. Dude, it's been like 3 weeks. That's crazy. 3 weeks ago, I applied on like Wednesday because it went up on Tuesday. And then my brother texted me and was like, hey.
This is my favorite part.
Oh, yeah. I started applying, and then my brother texted me in the middle of it and was like, hey, just let me know when you're finished applying so my boss can send you the offer letter. And I was like,
do I even need to apply?
I was like, wait. Offer letter? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I didn't even have an interview for this place. They just kind of hired me, which I'm grateful for because interviewing is the worst.
It's a skill. You got to sell yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I could sell myself.
Hi, my name is Paul Kanner, and I'm a park ranger.
Not a park ranger.
Former park ranger.
Not a former park ranger.
Yes, you were.
No. Yeah, so... Got the offer letter, put in my 2 weeks, all within like 5 days.
That's exciting, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool too, because I know you were wanting a different job there for some time.
Yeah.
For some time.
Making a lot more money.
Sounds so fun.
Making a lot more money.
Save that money.
Full-time
job. With benefits, paid time off, sick days, dude. Gotta love the big boy jobs.
Gotta love the big boy jobs. I'm finally
a big boy.
I've just been feeling like when I was working for the parks, I just kind of felt behind. Like I graduated college and I had like a part-time job, and all my friends were getting full-time jobs. And I'm like, I've been graduated from college for over 6 months now, and I just feel like I'm not a full adult yet. Like I'm still living at home, still have a part-time job, and I'm just like, this doesn't feel like real adulthood. It feels like I'm still in college without the college aspect, if that makes sense.
So just to help me understand, did you kind of get that feeling from other people, or was that really just inside your own head?
It was just kind of like inside me. Like I'm just like, I want to do something more than what I'm doing right now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, like, I went and got a degree, and I'm working for the parks, which anyone can do. Mm-hmm. I mean, anyone can do my job now, but, like, I have...
film photography experience.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I just felt like... Not like a waste, but, like, I was... wasting my experience in education, you know?
Dang, yeah. That's kind of like...
Because I'm like, I graduated, still working for the parks, still living at home. Like literally all I did was drive around at night in closed parks. Anyone, like an 18-year-old fresh out of high school can do that, which if you need a job, they're
they need the new park ranger.
Boulder County Metro Parks.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know you completely felt that way. I think you mentioned it a few times.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, dude. Things are I feel a lot better about life right now, honestly.
Isn't it
like
cool?
I loved my job, but like,
yeah,
deep down I'm like, I need to be doing something.
you knew you were better. You could do more.
I'm like, I can do something way like better than this and more fulfilling. You know?
Yeah. I agree. Look at you now, man. Like it's cool to see that, you know, at that one point, you know, you're talking about being at home and having the job, and now all of a sudden, like, life's like, all right, here you go.
Mm-hmm.
And
everything is literally happening so much fast.
Yeah, you like, just started your moving in Monday?
Literally, like I had 5 days within 5 days of stuff, I had a new job. And then like I am moving into a new apartment. We just got approved like 2 days ago, like next Monday. Like that is everything's happening so fast. I don't even know what to do. Like I'm still adjusting to this new job, and now I gotta like move, and it's just a lot, dude. It's been insane, dude. How fast everything like.
Well, and have you
it's
ever
just
like
so fast? Like everything, like usually it takes like time to get a job. I got a job in like 2 days.
Yeah, and then you were looking for an apartment, and all of a sudden it went.
We were looking for an apartment for like 2 months, and then
you found one, and now you're moving
clicked,
in
and
a week.
Like everything's just, everything's clicking. Everything is clicking.
So like, are you nervous to move into a new place? Are you nervous for the job? Like,
of course I'm nervous, dude. Like, new things, I get nervous about a lot.
Yeah.
It's like a new chapter, like a whole book.
It is
book closed. Starting.
You are never gonna live at home again. I mean,
starting the sequel, like the first book,
prequels.
The prequel is closed, and then now we're opening
the main trilogy.
The main trilogy, and that is hard to process for me.
But it's exciting.
It's so exciting, but like
where are you gonna go?
Exactly. Like I have no idea.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like for you not to know, like just sitting there, like the world is literally at your fingertips.
Mm-hmm. Anything, and I'm cool with that.
Anything, Paul.
Anything.
I mean, you got to go for it. And so
I'm going for
one
it.
piece of advice for you.
I probably shouldn't be going for it because my bank account, but I'm going for it.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean financially. That just means like you.
I know.
Set
but
those goals,
that's always the thing in the back of my mind is money.
Yeah.
Do I have the money to do this?
Find ways to take money out of it, or find ways to make money. Like
yeah. I mean, I should be fine with this new job. I'll be fine.
There's always going to be excuses, and money, I feel like, is one of the biggest for everyone.
That's exactly, dude. That's part of the over awareness, dude.
It like. In a way, that definitely ties in.
Because you're like, I'm so aware of how much money I have, and like,
well, and you overanalyze it.
You're like, I don't know, can I afford this? Well, should I afford this?
And then like the dangerous thing is, on Instagram or even in your own friends, you see someone, they have money, they're buying this, they're doing this, they're going here, they're doing that, and it's like, I need to do that, or like I'm too poor to do. Like there's just this huge array of emotions and actions people take because of money, like other people's money or the absence of it. Like I feel like people are never happy when they have money. Like there's always something more or something like, I don't know. And to your point, people overanalyze it all the time. Like the amount they have, what they can do with it. It almost defines them and like puts them in this bubble.
I agree.
Well, that kind of does tie in to really what we want to talk about today. And honestly, I think the whole money idea could be a different topic in itself.
Yeah, I think
we'll talk more about that in the future.
I think that's a whole nother topic right there.
Which you know what? We're gonna talk about that in the future.
It's like a symptom of over-awareness is money.
It is.
Money thinking.
So we will talk more about that on another episode. Today, however, let's dive into kind of the broad term, of over-awareness. And I will be honest, like I kind of made this up.
The word doesn't exist.
I kind of made this problem. I do air like quotes for a reason. Like, yes, I made it up, but it's just a definition for a very real problem.
Okay.
Like, I didn't just make the problem exist so I could talk about it. Like, the more we talk about it, the more I talk to people about this whole idea, they're like, yeah, that makes sense. It's just this problem that people don't really talk about it, or it has 1,000 other words for the little sections of it. And I just put over-aware as like the main, put it on there, sums it up on what I am trying to help people get over, attack, fight off, like however they're dealing with it. That's over-awareness. So, Paul, this is a bit of, I guess, unfair advantage for you because I've kind of talked about it. But also, I haven't gone in full detail about over-awareness, the problem, at least from my perspective, and like how I built this, Project Unaware up to be. Yeah. So, like, to you, what is that? What is over-awareness? Like, where have you seen it? Because I think that will help me understand where we're both at.
Well, I think I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier when I was talking about, like, the money thing. I know we're getting back into the money thing, but, like,
that's okay.
That's just the one thing that really affects me when I think of, like, over-awareness is, like, you're so, like, present, and you just think about everything, and you know how it feels to feel this way, and you know exactly like what the outcome's going to be. I know that's super broad. That sounds super broad, but it like makes sense in my head. You're like, you've thought through everything, and you're like, okay, if I do this, then this is going to happen. If I don't do this, then this is how I'm going to feel about not doing this. Kind of like that. You're just like, and you feel like everything that could happen. Or I don't know, dude.
I think you're getting at, like, I do think that's definitely a problem of over-awareness, but I think I would put that on the specific chunk of, like, over self-awareness, over, like, conscious, not
conscious,
kind of, which I do think, like, for me, me making over-aware this big, broad thing, I think that is one of the main trees. Yeah. And one of the main things a lot of people struggle with. So I think kind of like with what I was doing with the big tree, like we can think of it as a tree. The very top of it is that over-aware, it's right here. Can you see it?
It's right here. It's right here, guys.
And I think what you're saying, 100% agree. I think that's like one of the biggest like aspects of like a branch or root or whatever terminology, because you're spot on. Like I feel like so many people overanalyze themselves, like constantly think about this situation, what's going to happen. And that leads to one, like expectations, disappointment. I mean, for example, what just happened, this couple days ago, Simone Biles pulled out of the Olympics, which props to her, man, to sit there and be like, my mental health, like who I am is more important. And I don't want to be like holding back the team. That is so cool. I know she's probably going to get a lot of heat for it or whatever. People always take different sides. But for her to sit
honestly,
there,
I haven't seen anyone, or I've seen only positive like
Really?
things about
I haven't been
Simone
on the
Biles.
news that much. I just heard.
I
about
might
that.
be on the wrong side of like
I don't know.
the
You're on the
social
right
media.
side,
I mean,
I
the
think.
right side. I might be on like the right side,
the positive
but
side,
not the right side for like the
I don't know. Which side it
negative
is.
things.
Like,
obviously, like I don't want to see negative things
Yeah.
on social media, so I'm on the right side.
I just don't get on social media that much because it's a lot of negativity, and I'm like, ugh. Another episode right there. Well, so there's a lot.
Write that down.
There's a lot. Well, I already have it written down. I don't know, dude. It's just like for her to do that.
Yeah, that took
Because
guts.
just imagine the pressure she's feeling. I mean, one, the Olympics, the world's biggest stage.
Mm-hmm.
Not like America,
sports.
not like the world. The world is watching, and she is,
The
from my
best.
perspective, the face of USA Olympics or not Olympics, gymnastics.
Yeah.
That is so much pressure, dude. The average age of those gymnasts is like 20.
That's insane. Probably
Like,
younger,
imagine-
honestly.
Like I watched a girl compete. She was 18, and I'm like, fresh out of high school, man. You have the entire world watching you jump and do flips on a beam that is this big. That's insane. And like to them, yeah, they were like raised and coached, but in that moment,
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of people call it choking or like whatever, but your brain, you start like freaking out and over analyzing it and being that like so conscious of your actions and so aware of what you're doing that like what you can do every single day at the gym instantly becomes so hard because it used to just take a subconscious role. Now you're overthinking. Now you're like, my hand needs to go here, or like whatever, with the gymnastics thing. But just think about that. Like for your own self, like you practice, you do something, and you get to that final, like the show, you're going to show someone, like parallel parking with someone in the car, right? Like when someone is watching, the pressure is on and you start overanalyzing.
You're like literally so aware of everything around you when someone's watching you.
Dude, and you overthink it, you start freaking out, your brain, like...
That goes with like anything where you have an audience.
And-
Most people. Some people have figured it out where it's like, I don't care what
I think
people
the people
think.
are really good. Well, even those people, I think,
They're
still
still
care. Because I
thinking.
would say I
still
try not to
thinking.
care what people think about me.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, if I hear someone's name and they're like, people get quiet when I walk in the room, it's always like, were they? I don't care. I don't care.
Okay.
Well, what were they saying? Like even people who don't care
Yeah.
do care. And so that gets into this one problem. Like we can run down this actually. This is a big chunk of what over-awareness is, but this over self-awareness,
Yeah.
right? Like look at our friends, look at the people we know, like our family. I mean, everyone does this. Like name one person who doesn't. Who doesn't sit there in the moment and be like, oh my gosh, how's my hair look? How do I smell?
I
Did I
cannot.
say that right?
I literally cannot.
Like we are constantly like over analyzing, having this over self-awareness of ourselves.
Yeah.
And that just begs the question in my mind is like, how many things have we not done, not gone for, not tried? Because we already are so over aware of like, well, maybe, I don't know.
Like,
and then
what
you
if
don't
this
do it.
happens when we're doing it? Like,
What if this person does this? Or what about the what if?
it's
Like,
the what if
We
factor.
ask ourselves that all the time. You don't know?
Yeah.
Like, this quote, I think, it's not Keanu Reeves. Shoot. Matthew McConaughey said this, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
I think I know what you're talking
And he was like, the worst thing you can do in life, apologize for language, everyone, is half-ass it. And he goes, the reason is, you go for something, you win, you lose, you tie. If you gave it your all, you gave it your all, right? But let's say you half-ass it. Then you're sitting there, well, what if I tried a little bit more? Or what if this? What if that?
Yeah.
And that struck me because one, like,
I know I've heard that before.
I think it's Matthew McConaughey.
That sounds right.
There's two aspects to that, how my brain takes it. Like, yes, like everything I do in life, I want to go for it.
Yeah.
But also that builds on the idea that people are asking what if. Like, that just goes to show, like, if Matthew McConaughey, that is who did that quote,
hopefully,
like, that's one of the worst things to him. And that just goes to show how much influence that question, what if, has on us. Like, for this show example, like, building this podcast, building the blog, building the website, sitting here as a fresh college grad, gonna go out and do a podcast. There are so many people that like give you that look of like it's just gonna be
it's just another one of those podcasts.
Oh, you're gonna do one or two of them, and then it's gonna become whatever. Or, oh, it's not gonna be high quality, and all these people instantly just
not true.
No,
that's not what this is.
And so, like, for me, because I was working on this for 2 months before I called you, and it's like, hey. And even then, like, in the excitement, in the peak of, like, I'm doing this. Mm-hmm. I'm building this out, like, writing pages of notes and, like, researching how to code a website and doing, like, looking at the equipment, even at the highest moment of my confidence and, like, I'm going to do this, I still was like, what if it fails? What if I'm not good enough? What if? And I started getting into that, the over-awareness of myself, my abilities, who I am. Can I do this? Will people listen? And it's like, why does that matter? Sitting here now in this chair, like, we're going to be talking a lot about this, but do not, like, we're hypocrites. Mm-hmm. Like, I still struggle with this, man. Like,
I struggle with it every day.
At the point of this recording, the website's not done. I have struggled to get to it. I've worked on 5 different revisions of it because I'm like, it's not good enough. Or, well, this looks weird. People are going to think this is weird. Or, like, and the list goes on, and I go back and I start from scratch. And I'm getting better at it every time because I know how to, like, code and get to a certain point and whatnot. But I'm still, like, there's that inner, I don't know what it is, that self-awareness, over-awareness that just holds me back. It's like, you can do it tomorrow. Oh, you can work on it.
It's like a lingering thing in the back of your mind. You're just, you don't want it to be there, but it will always be there. It
holds you down.
There's always something. There's always something that...
It's frustrating, man.
It's doubt.
It is.
It's self-doubt.
It is. Because, like, I am sitting there like, I can't do it. Oh, maybe people are right. Like, that stuff doesn't bother as much. The thing that really, really frustrates me is me sitting in my bed on my laptop, sitting there like, I have my laptop. I have 30 minutes. I could work on the website. And I'm like,
you can work on the website.
I'll do it tomorrow. Like, I don't know if it's that fear or just that ball that's holding me back. And the only way that I've found, like, and this is kind of what I really want to get at, the problem of awareness, is the one way to fight it is in that moment, you have to say no to that. Like, that feeling that wants to hold you back, that weight of the world, you have to fight it off and win that moment. Like, it's all about the small little victories. Like, you know what? I'm going to go type in Project Unaware / admin and edit it. Once I get to that, I'm all in. I'll edit it. But it's that simple little action that's so hard to do. And a couple of our friends have been talking about that too recently, of like my dreams or passions and like several of them. Like, but I get where they're coming from, and I get why people nowadays like don't chase the things they want. Don't go for the things that they know. Like, not even like, maybe, like, that they know they want to do.
And it will bring them joy.
It will grow them, push them. Like, and yet we as humanity have gotten to a point where we're comfortable just sitting there, not doing it.
Saying no to things.
Like, I think, which I wish I could take credit for this. Like, I've said this a lot since my friend Charlie, he'll be on the show, so you guys will meet him.
Charles.
He once said, because I was telling him all about this, right, before I even built it. And he was like, dude, I love that. Like, I feel like people always say no and have to find a reason to say yes to something. I wish people lived the other way. That your gut reaction is like, yes. but you have to find a good reason to say no.
Mm-hmm.
People don't live that way, right?
That's true.
And the reason I think people don't live that way is because we're over-aware. And so we've kind of talked a little bit about like that self-awareness aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Like we making this, because I assume you have some of the feeling like that I feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is like fighting that off. It like actively.
Yeah.
Now that's this like self-awareness. But
what are the other branches? So what are the other branches, Andrew?
I'm glad you asked. I mean, really,
there's one other branch.
There's a lot of branches that go into this big tree of over-awareness.
Yeah.
But
just give me one right now. Just one.
I'll go about it this way. How about this? So we have over-awareness, right? And like I guess when we're saying over-awareness, and I guess when we're saying that, like now people are gauged into like, oh, my self-view. But there's even like another level to that is today in our age, you can ask a question and basically get the answer to it in a moment. We have supercomputers in our phone.
This is true.
Which is awesome. Like, I love my phone. I use it all the time. Use it for video, phone, camera, text, communication. Like, it's a great tool to have. But that tool has caused us to like be lazy, become comfortable. Like we don't seek out new things for ourselves. Why? We watch it on YouTube. We like live, what's that word? Vicariously through other people while we just sit and like, oh, I wish I could do that. Oh, I wish I could go see that place or do that job or learn that skill.
That's one part of it. And then after you get past that part and you like kind of do some research on it, you're like, oh, can I do this? Can I do it? Then you see either like it kind of scares you. That's one thing that could happen. 2, you see the price of it and you're like, oh no, I can't afford that. There's that money thing again. I keep coming back to it.
It's a big thing.
It's huge.
Yeah.
I don't know a third one, but I'm sure there's one.
I mean, you just find excuses.
Yeah, exactly. You find excuses. You're like, oh, you research it and you're like, oh, I can do this. And then
your brain
find an excuse
flooded
to make sure that you don't do it.
Like, which is just so frustrating to watch. Because that is one aspect, I think, in my life that I do pretty well in. Like, if I'm like, I want to do this, I know it will grow me, I know it will push me. Like, I don't necessarily know the outcome, which is where the word unaware really comes from. Is like, it's okay not to know. It's okay not to know what's going to happen. It's okay not to, like, know the skill. It's okay not to know, not to be aware, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for those moments, like when that flooding comes in, like, oh, what about this? What about this? Like, that's when you just got to get up and go do it. Like, for me, you know, I want to do that backpacking trip, but a lot of things were like, I should stay here for a couple of years and build out things I'm starting to do, like this. So then I watched this video on Yes Theory, which I am representing their brand. They have a big influence on who I became. But I was watching one of the guys, Amar, do his Halo skydive. And it's so a Halo skydive.
What is that?
I don't know quite the elevation, but I know it's like around 15,000 feet. But you need oxygen. Like right now, my max, like once I get my A license, will be about 11,000, 12,000 feet. They're going like to the edge of the atmosphere, where they have to have oxygen on.
Oh.
So it's called a halo jump.
How far? How high?
Over 15, I think.
You said over 15.
I think. I'm pretty sure.
How high is the atmosphere?
Huh?
How high is...
You know, I feel like we should know this, but I'm not quite sure.
How high is the top of the atmosphere?
We should know that. I don't know that. Do you know that?
I don't. 20,000?
I mean, we could Google it, but...
We could easily Google it.
Oh, well.
Who cares?
It's high enough that you can, like, almost see the round of the Earth, and you have to have oxygen masks. So, even going up in the plane, because it's so thin.
Crazy. Yeah.
And so you get up there, and and this is like the craziest thing he's done. Like there were a bunch of like challenges to it. They canceled which airport he could land at, and then he had to go find a drop zone he's never landed at, which like me skydiving now, that's very hard. Like I analyze my landing path, where I'm going to go, like the winds. For him to be like, oh, hey, you're jumping and you're going to land here, but you don't know where you're landing.
Never landed here before.
That's scary. Like that's, oh, I can't do this today. Like that would have been a easy thing to say, you know what? I'm not doing it. Or the reason that it got postponed in 9 hours. Like there's always so many things. I digress. But I saw that video. And in that moment, I've wanted to get skydiving certified for a long time. Like when I went tandem years back, I was like, I want to do this. And then I saw the price. And I'm like, I'm just some high school kid. I can't do this.
It's that price thing again.
It is. Which is a reasonable barrier for a lot of... We'll talk a lot about that on another episode. Before I go on a tangent. And so in that moment, I was like, okay, when they open tomorrow, I'm going to call them and like talk about it. Just ask. Don't even have to like commit. Just like call and be like, hey, what's this process look like? And so I did.
But I mean, that's you like taking a step towards reaching your goal.
It is. And the reason, I guess the reason I've gotten so good at it is because I act in the moment. Now, yes, like big things like that, I'm not like, oh, take my money. Like, here, I'm doing it. Like,
take my money.
I just called. I took the first step. It was a baby step. I literally just called and go,
baby steps, dude.
So what is you have 2 programs. What do they look like? Tell me a little bit about them. And I was like, okay, I'll call you back. But that first step got me in the door. Mm-hmm. Got all that feeling, all that out.
Yeah.
No,
that makes sense.
And so I think for me, like I've been good at that for a while now. But even I still mess up.
Dude, I mean, you've inspired me even. Like,
I appreciate
I've been saying yes to things that I never thought I would. Like, I was terrified to, like, play in a disc golf tournament. And then I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do it. Signed up for it. Why not? Yeah, exactly. It's something I enjoy. I'm going to do it. And I love it.
And yet.
And I don't regret it.
People don't do stuff like that. Because, like, for a person, I have a friend who wanted to, like, learn piano, right?
Been there.
And all they have to do is go get a piano and start. Like, YouTube now has made it so easy to learn.
Yeah, you don't even have to, like, learn from,
you don't have to pay
a teacher.
Yeah.
Like, I took piano lessons for a year.
I wish I did.
From an actual person, not the internet. And I don't remember anything.
Like, it is so I guess it's a double-edged sword. Like, I love the internet because it allows people to chase their dreams. But at the same side, like the other side of it, it has blocked so many people. Because, I guess this is what I was getting at way back at the point, is we have so much information that we are like so over-aware to the point where we don't do anything. Like, it's almost scary to even open that door because you're like, there's hundreds of piano tutorials on YouTube alone. Which one? Which version of piano? What type? What store? Who do I buy? What do I do? This, that, like, and we instantly get so overwhelmed because it's just a vast ocean of information. Like disc golf. Think about how many discs there are, the weights, the numbers, the bags, the courses, like
so many. With
anything you can take, there's so much information on it now. And that in our head, it's like, yeah, I'm okay. Like, I'll just watch it. Or, my favorite thing. One day or next time.
Next time. I'll check it out.
Which, there are always reasonable things. I'm like, hey, like, that's okay. But, like, you also know yourself. And, like, if you can dig through that self-awareness, that over-awareness problem and really get the heart of it, like, why are you actually saying no versus why aren't you saying yes?
Yeah.
And so
I don't know, that YouTube thing just makes me think of that AJR song. What is it?
Oh, the college?
Yeah.
The one where he's like, I could have
like when YouTube
I spent all
was
my money
an option.
on college, or when YouTube was an option.
Yeah.
But then I spent all my money
I would
on
have
YouTube.
spent my best years skipping ads and reading comments or something.
Yeah.
Like,
which is true. Like, just Look at the world today. Look at all the people. How many people would you say chase their dream?
Not like too many. Are you asking for like a ballpark number?
Sure, why not? I don't know. How are you gonna answer that?
I don't know.
I don't have an expected answer.
Very low number of people actually chase their dreams. They have dreams. Everyone has dreams.
And yet they don't.
Very few actually chase them.
Why?
I don't know. I think a lot of people will say, "Oh, life just got in the way." I got busy.
Gets busy.
I stopped thinking about it.
Got comfortable.
I didn't think it would actually happen.
Was tired. But like the weird thing is like after, at least for me, you know, you can agree or disagree with this. Once I take that first step into something I've dreamed about, something that gets me like, I've wanted to, I get giddy and I get excited and I just go because it's giving me that energy. Yeah, I'm tired from work. Yeah, I'm tired from life. Yeah. But when I take that first step, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Or, you know, other example, I take that first step. I'm like, you know what? This isn't what I thought. But now I know.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, though, people just don't take that step because they're either scared of the information and knowing too much, scared of not knowing the outcome. They're like, well, I don't know if I'll stick through with it, or I don't know if it's going to be this or what they're going to do. Like the amount of, I think that's like a bulk of excuses is like, well, I don't know what they're going to do or what's going to happen. Like the future as a big question mark is very scary.
Oh, it's terrifying.
And the biggest thing I want to say to them is like, it's okay not to know. Like some of the best things in life, man, happen when you just go and see what happens. Now, yes, if it is dangerous and like I know people are going to go to the extreme and be like, well, like, you know, there's being safe. You don't want to walk downtown in the middle of a city that's about like people get shot. Like that's not what I'm saying. And if that's what you get out of this, then like you're just finding ways to make this not applicable to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like
excuses.
Exactly. You're like, oh no, they're just talking about extremes. Like, oh, that's a dumb idea in this situation. Like, yes, you have common sense for a reason. If it's gonna kill you, get you killed, put you in a bad situation, sure. Over 90% of the things people say no to won't do that. It just won't.
That's true.
Like, think to a time that you just got home, sat down, and someone's like, hey, do you want to come do this? You just said yes. Like, odds are, it's probably fun. Yeah, led to something, led to a story, led to an experience, led to friendship. Like, you don't know where it's going to lead, and that's the fun part. Like, that's the cool part. If you set expectations for everything, you're only going to get disappointed because life goes in 100 different ways. And if you live your life in that box of something you can control, then you're just going to be the same person your entire life.
Right.
And I think people are comfortable with that. And that's really the biggest problem.
I don't want to be comfortable with that.
You shouldn't be.
I'm not going to be.
You should seek things out that like push you. If it's scary, if it scares me in the good way, like for all those people who are going to take this in the wrong way, like if I'm like, oh, that makes me nervous.
That's terrifying.
I got to do it. This podcast, up there.
Yeah, same.
Like right now recording, no. But when I go to release this, you know, when I go to like, hey, world, here's my heart and soul.
Here it is.
I'm going to get nervous because this is me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little scary.
Yeah.
I got to do it.
You got to do it.
If I said no because I was scared, like that what if comes in. Right?
Yeah.
You know?
But we're not going to think about the what ifs. We're not going to think about the what ifs with this podcast.
Well, we're just going to do it.
We're just going to do it. Like, we're going to have fun.
I know for a fact what ifs are going to happen. They already have.
Yeah. I'm thinking about them right now, but I don't want to.
One of the coolest parts and why I love that you're here is because if it was just me, that gets heavier and heavier every time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're here being like, hey, man, no, like, we can do this. Or if you're not feeling it one day, like, hey, like, we can do this. And we build each other up. Like, yeah, there's no reason we can't film 100 of these. Who cares if people watch or listen?
I don't care.
I love talking about this stuff.
I do care.
I would love for this to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said in the first episode, like, my biggest passion in life, like, what makes me happy and joyful is helping other people.
You do love helping people.
I try. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for raising me that way.
Thanks, Mom. Skyline.
Yeah. There's Skyline sitting behind me. Skyline is the best, and I will buy you it if you've never had it. If you have had it, I will not buy you Skyline.
But we can still get Skyline.
But we can still get Skyline. Honestly, it's like, I feel my best when I have Skyline. It's really weird, but I grew up eating it at least twice a week because the kids ate free on Wednesday, and I had 4 brothers, and it was, it was a deal.
Today is Wednesday.
Kids eat
We're
free on
kids.
Wednesdays. We're kids.
At heart, we're kids.
Dude, people, this is Brett's thing. Stay kid.
Stay kid.
Which I love. Like, she gets at that point where, like, as we get older, people don't chase their dreams as much. People get, not sad, I guess comfortable with where they're at. Like, and I feel that pressure. So for you going into this new job, starting something new, getting into the apartment, like, right now at a peak, you're going to be doing and changing and, doing cool stuff.
Big time.
And you're going to hit this feeling. It's like, I get home and I don't want to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I already did something all day. I did work. I did that, and it, like, that kicks in. And I feel that, which is why I'm, like, almost at the extreme of the other side, not letting myself even feel that for a moment.
I'm trying not to do that, dude.
But it kicks in. And so where Brett's thing
I don't want that
comes in is the stay kid is like, hey, you can enjoy the little things. You can have fun kicking around in the rain, going on a slip. Like, kids have fun for a reason. Like, and yet we view that as, oh, you're an adult, you can't have fun.
I have fun all the time playing disc golf.
Like, find the things you like, find the things you have fun, and do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, people just don't, though.
Yeah, I think also with, like, the stay kid thing, like, it's like that loss of childhood spirit. Like, when you're a kid, like, you have no cares. You're just, like, running around, doing
you go
crazy
for it.
things. You're going for everything. You say things, and you don't care what people think.
You dream big.
Dream big. Like, you have such a wild imagination when you're a kid. And then when you become an adult, like, it seems like everything just closes up, and you're just, like, you do your job. You have your friends, your family.
Why?
I don't know why, but we can for sure talk about that with Brett when she's
she's on it. I do want. She's going to be a guest on here. I've already told her that.
Yeah.
So, Brett, for you guys, she's someone who's very awesome and, like, has a similar mindset and style and dreams big.
Yeah.
Speaking of dreaming big, like, I feel like the last section, because we're going pretty long here, and so we'll wrap up here soon. But, like, for the overall problem of over-awareness, like, we've talked about kind of like that self-doubt, the inner self, the information technology age we're in. I feel like another big thing that hits us is, like, it stops us from exploring who we are and who we want to be.
Right.
Like, Paul, who do you want to be?
Who do I want to be?
Mm-hmm.
That's a loaded question.
It is. Now, if you were 8 years old, you would have an answer on the spot.
No, I wouldn't.
I feel like every kid goes, I dream to be an astronaut, or what, da-da-da-da-da. Like, yeah, it's maybe not
I don't
realistic.
even know what I wanted to be when I was a kid.
I don't either. I don't remember. But you still had an answer. Now we're sitting there like...
I don't have an answer.
Why?
I'm just going with the flow at this point. Like, I'm just like, hey, I'm in this job right now. That's cool. If I'm supposed to be somewhere else in like 6 years, fine by me. I'll do that.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's just kind of how I've gone through life. Like, I'm like, I don't have an agenda. I'm like, wherever I am, whatever job I have, whatever friends I have, that's where I am. I'm like literally wherever the wind blows me.
A man who floats with the
river. I float with the river, drift with the wind.
Now,
and I'm okay with that.
So let me ask you this follow-up question. Like, then what pushes you?
What pushes me?
Mm-hmm. Like, are you striving for something, or are you just constantly in the moment? I'm just curious.
You're not. Obviously, one of the big things for a lot of people is to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I want to live, and I want to live on my own accord, not without help from my parents. That's like an end goal of mine. Obviously, like I'm 24, I should be able to achieve that goal, but like that's kind of what I'm striving for at this point. That's kind of why I got a new job.
Moving out.
Like I want to be self-sustainable.
I think that's probably going to happen in like a year.
Yeah, probably.
Pretty here soon, actually.
Yeah, but also, like, I still want to live life and have fun. Like, I love concerts. I mean, one day, one of my dreams is to, like, have my own concert venue where, like, small bands play or whatever. And
do you know the name?
I haven't figured out a name yet.
Puzzles.
Puzzles.
You want to know why?
That's the puzzle.
How I Met Your Mother shout out. Not a sponsor. Could be, even though it's not a show anymore. But
no, but like I love the idea of just going with the flow, like wherever life takes you. Like, honestly, like I would love to not live in Ohio at some point. That's one of my goals too. Is move out west. Everyone says that, but I am gonna do everything in my power to make it happen.
Do you want me to hold you to that?
Yeah.
Because I think you said something really important there. Is everyone says that.
Everyone says that.
I've said that.
You've said that.
Everyone. Or like maybe it's not.
But I want to make it happen.
But so then, like, chase that.
I will.
Right?
Yeah.
Not I will. Or, well, one day. Or like,
I am chasing.
I do agree. I think you are chasing that.
The first step for me is to get financially stable so that I can chase that when I have the financial capability.
And the marriage.
Okay, yeah.
Potentials.
Potential marriage. But yeah, like that's something that I want, and I'm gonna go get it. Just not right now, because I've thought it through, and I made a plan to become financially stable before I can chase that dream, which is okay.
100% agree, and I'm actually glad you brought that up because I think, I kind of mentioned how people would like take extreme routes. I think that's something people probably say a lot is like, well, maybe like it is more wise to do this first. I'm all here for that. Like, I think that is cool that you can sit there and think through like, all right, here's my plan. It like going unaware doesn't have to mean right now. Like, yes, I did say like one of the best ways to fight it off is like, in that moment you're like, oh, I can't do this. Like, go do it.
Yeah, this is one of those baby steps.
This is a bigger, it's like taking that baby
steps.
step is, hey, I got a job. I'm actively planning for it. And, how I asked you to keep you accountable, like one of the best things to do is have people that know your passions and your drive and your goals. So like in 6 months, 2 years, I'm like, hey, Paul, like, what's up? Are you still thinking about that? Is that, and like help you too, like have that accountability because odds are, you're going to get comfortable. You get to a point where it's like, oh, it is hard to move out west, or it's gonna be uncomfy, because you got to find a new job and.
It just sounds so cliche. Oh, I'm gonna move out west, but like,
doesn't matter
what it is.
Like
I know.
I don't know. It's exciting stuff.
I know.
Even to think like in 4 years.
Yeah.
Like
who knows? Who knows? The wind could take me out there.
And that's exciting. And to me, it's crazy to me that people sit there and do the same thing every day for 60 years.
Yeah. That's dude, I've been saying this for years. I'm like, I don't want to do the same career for the rest of my life. Like, that's why I have this mindset of like, oh, I go where the wind takes me. I've had like 10 jobs in the past.
Dude, you
5 years.
Holy, you were a barista
Maybe
at
more.
King.
Maybe
you
even more.
At True West. You were.
I didn't work at True West.
You were a barista at King.
The Haven.
Chipotle for a sec,
Chipotle,
right?
Dick's Sporting Goods, The Warehouse.
I always forget about
Mac
Dick's.
and Joe's. Dude, literally, I've counted. It's over 10 jobs. And like,
diverse
that,
man right
that
there.
might not look great on like a resume or anything.
College.
But it's college, and I was like, I'm enjoying my time here. And then when something presented itself to me, I went for it, and I took that new job, and I didn't look back.
So how did you do that? So right there, that decision, I think, is where a lot of people struggle. So like, why can you do that? Like, what's your mindset? How? Because that point where you're like, there's this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that over-awareness starts crawling in. So like, how did you do that?
How did I move on?
How did you take the new opportunity, move on? Like,
I mean, well, like, pretty much every job I've owned was because someone I know also worked there, either before me or at the same time. So I just kind of
I was like the state park. No, but Luke
literally
worked,
every job, maybe except for Dick's Sporting Goods, I think.
Yeah.
But I just kind of like, I was like, yeah, are you guys hiring or is there a job opening? I kind of asked around because I was like, I'm looking for something else. This isn't fulfilling me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Not like fulfilling, but like, this isn't it. I know it's not it. So part of it was like, I was actively looking for something. And then other times it just kind of popped up. Like someone's like,
the opportunity.
Yeah. Like Nick was like, hey, does anyone want a job? The Haven's hiring. And I was like, yeah.
Sure.
I don't know what that is, but yeah, sure.
I'll do it.
Yeah. So, and I ended up working there for 3 years and I loved it. And like, I built like a really good reputation there and and then it shut down because of COVID.
Add it to the list of all the things.
All the things.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then got the job with the parks because Luke's like, I'm leaving. Do you want my old job? So I took it. And then with this new job, Tim. So like these opportunities arise.
It's called networking, Paul.
It is called networking.
Business major over here.
Yeah, so like these opportunities arise and I'm like, yeah, why not? I'm making more money. It's a new experience for me. I love experiencing new things. Who knows? Could be could be there for a while. It sounds fun. Sounds cool. I'll test it out. And I'm okay with that.
I love that. Yeah.
Like when I was working for the parks, I'm like, I really like this job. And then after a while, it got like mundane. And I was like, this just isn't great anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm not where I want to be right now. So I pivoted. Another opportunity arose. Took it. Here I am.
Day 3. Very new. Yeah. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. That's a good mindset.
It's just how it's always been. And people are like, what do you want to do when you grow up? I'm like, well, one, I kind of am grown up and I don't know.
But what do you want to be when you're older?
What do you want to do when you get out of college? I'm out of college. I don't know. Don't care.
Yeah.
I don't have like a set career path that I want to take. Because I'm so okay with like experiencing what comes my way. Like nothing has stood out to me like,
that's it.
I want to do that for the rest of my life. Or I want to do that next. It just kind of happens. That's just how I've lived my life since I started college.
Well, I think that's a good thing to bring up because, you can go about fighting over awareness, like the problem, in a lot of different ways. Like, you don't just have to have the mindset that I have or that you have, like within your own self, within who you are, find the way that you can like beat it. So whether that's go out today and buy the piano and just start, or make a plan and then do it. Like, I think it's all about the follow through and actively like fighting it, I guess. Like it is a problem, like it holds so many people back, puts so much stress and pressure on people, and like, imposter syndrome, which I do want to talk about kind of more in depth on another episode with a different person, or like with a guest. I have a guest in mind. Like there's just so many things that you can attach to this. Like, we have so much information, it's caused all these problems. Yeah. AKA what I call the problem of over-awareness. Well, that is kind of all the time we have today. Thanks, guys, for kind of sticking around for the conversation. And
dude, that was a good conversation.
Yeah, dude. For the people who don't know, this is unscripted. Like, we have ideas we want to talk about, and like that's one big goal of mine for this is not to have it be scripted. Like, I want this to show the passion, show the thoughts. Like, it's not going to be perfect, but like that's okay. Kind of the reason.
It's okay.
It's not ever going to be perfect. It's kind of just being okay with, hey, like, I don't have the whole podcast thing figured out, but I still want to do it. I know it's going to grow me. It's going to grow you. People will listen to it. Like, I hope something out of today's conversation challenged you.
Yeah.
I hope you thought about your own life. And maybe you're like, there is this one thing I've wanted to try for so long. What's holding you back? Like, ask yourself that. And if it's not like, $20,000 that's going to put your life in debt, or, something like that, I would argue do it. Like, why not? You kept saying that, Paul, for like when you're talking about your life, is like, why not?
Like why not?
That's something we always say, but that's such like that's the best question. Question that, like, if the what if question kicks in, say why not? Like, that should have the same amount of power and hold over us as what if.
It's the combat question to what if.
What if this happens? Well, you don't know that. But
why not?
Why would you not do that?
Yeah, why would you not?
Like, start saying yes in your head, and find a good reason to say no instead of the other way around. Well, guys, thanks again. I know I already said that.
Yeah, this was fun.
I really do appreciate, again, if you guys listened all the way through. I know it's a little long one today.
Good content. No?
Yeah, I think we hit the broad overview of, over-awareness and kind of what we're really going to start attacking with the whole unaware brand and, like, the philosophy and thesis and idea behind it, right?
Yeah.
And so I hope you guys got a good sense of kind of where we're coming from. There was a lot on over-awareness that we didn't get to. That's okay.
Over-awareness part 2.
I mean, the cool thing is, like I said in the beginning,
we can talk about
this is kind of the foundation of what we're going to talk about, and
the main course.
And so, yeah,
it's just the appetizer.
This is really, like, when I think about over-awareness, like, I have pages of notes. It really is.
Yeah.
And that excites me. Scares me, but excites me.
Why not?
Well, I guess this is the time where I do the second sponsorship and check out projectunaware.com. I really mean that. Like, if you guys could subscribe, or if you did find this useful, I don't know.
If you have any questions, concerns, tips for us.
I am making an email. It might, what would be a good email? Because I can do anything right now, like info or questions or at projectunaware.com. That is the email. If you have ideas, we're actually going to get a tip jar. It's going to be like somewhere there on a little shelf. Here. And whenever I have a guest, write tips on like people you want to see. You know, like right now you're our friends watching this. If you have a friend or you yourself want to be on the show and you think like, hey, I have a topic. Like, for example, Mandy, I want to talk about friend groups and the social pressure and peer pressure and, you know, anxiety and stuff. You know, Brett talking about staying kids and the problem of building something alone versus with people. Like, if there is something that you do, you have a passion. Like Brett, we're going to talk about her thing. Brett makes things. Mandy talk about music and her job and design. Like, I want to get people on to talk about their passions. And if you think you got that and, you know, there's something that your heart just has the desire to talk about, send us the email and, like, we can get you on.
Yeah. Just pretty much, you can leave anything in the tip jar, really.
You could. Say, hey, guys, I love the episode this week.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe we'll read it.
We are going to have social media as well, so anywhere, Project Unaware, search it. Honestly, I will not use Twitter or Facebook. Realistically, the only thing I'm going to use is Instagram.
I like that idea.
So follow us on Instagram, and that will help our sponsorship really sponsor us, because then they'll see that it was great to sponsor this podcast, even though it is this podcast. But, yeah.
Sponsor us. Yay.
What do you want to say? One last thing, like challenge the people for the week.
Just say yes to something crazy.
New, something crazy, something that pushes them.
And just don't even think about it. Just be like, yeah, I'll do it.
Figure it out.
As you go. Take the baby steps.
All right, guys, you heard it. Say yes to something. Go for it. But we love you.
Why not?
Check out the blog post next week or the old week, or check out the first episode. I don't know.
Check out all the blog posts.
We're building all the content right now, so check us out.
Check it out.
We appreciate you guys. Thanks for stopping by.
We love you guys.
Sleaze.
Sleaze.